Good evening, everybody. Hopefully, as always, you can see us and you can hear us on what is, of course, our Friday night natter. Now, I know we were meant to be here last night with you all, wasn't we? But sadly, Royal Mail let us down a little bit. But, you know, they do a good job 99% of the time, so we can't moan too much. But our samples hadn't arrived back from Francoise in time for this evening. So instead, or yesterday evening, we moved it to today. And today we are celebrating the Stockists launch of the brand new Woodware collection by Francoise Reed, of course, our Floral Stationry collection. So this evening we're going to be taking a little look through the collection. We're going to be looking at some of the amazing DT samples. And of course, I'm going to read out the all-important list of where you can track down the goodies. Now, before we get onto all of that lot, as always, if you are joining us this evening, please let us know in the comments that you can see us, you can hear us, and that we're coming across loud and clear, because it's always nice to know that it's working. I tell you this every week, but we're never too sure if it's going to work or not. Now, recently you have been rescuing me, even before I've got to my questioning. You've been telling me in the comments that it's coming across loud and clear, so maybe somebody's already beat us to it. But just in case they haven't, don't hesitate to let us know. Now, as I say, we are live Friday evening at 7 p.m. here on the Creative Expressions main page. We're probably going to be here for around about an hour-ish. So if you're joining us after that time or day, please know that you are watching a repeat. And the competition will now, of course, be closed to win the cards, because it is during the lives. If you want to win the cards we create, you do need to join us live and enter the competition to win them. Every now and again, we'll get people pop up days and weeks later answering the questions, and it's always terrible to kind of go back and say, I'm sorry, that was why it was live. So don't forget, join us live on our lives, hence the live bit, I suppose. I feel like I've said the word live far too many times now. They are 7 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays normally, but do keep an eye on that event section on the Creative Expressions page, because just like this week, things have had to change a little bit thanks to a missing parcel or a delayed parcel. So anyway, waffling from me. Let's stop that. Let's go over and say good evening to Peter, who is, as always, off in the wings, ready to be my assistant with the mostest.
I wonder where that was going to go. Evening all, how we all doing? Hope you're all okay. Had a good week. Happy Friday. The weekend is here.
Happy Friday. That
Happy
was
Friday.
said with enthusiasm,
It was, wasn't
Peter.
it? Only because, well, Sue's on it then. Emma.
Excuse me, have I been evicted from my job? You say hello, we come back to me, I say hello to people. Don't go jumping in there giving out your hellos to your Sues and your Emmas.
I'm so happy Friday. I'm stealing their thunder. I think I'm in the naughty corner proper now.
You are already 2 minutes in and you're already in trouble. Any more to say, or have you just going to stop now?
No.
So are you okay? Have you had a good day? It's good we don't do rehearsals, isn't it?
You are watching a live Jamie and Peter on
So
Friday
have you had a good day?
It's been good.
Has it been a good
Busy.
day? I'm giving up with you. Come on, we're going back to trying to get this train back on tracks. Why do we go to him, eh? I don't know. Okay, let's say good evening to some people. This is the stage we do this, Peter. This bit now, yeah? Okay, so good evening, Kim. Good evening, Emma. Good evening to you. Possibly do it better than I do, though, in fairness. Good evening, Kathleen. Good evening, Andrew, Sue, Hayley. Oh, it's been a long time since Hayley's been able to join us. So it's lovely that you can be here on a Friday. See, maybe a change of day has helped you join us. It is lovely to have you all with us. Now, as I mentioned in my earlier waffling, it is, of course, our evening to celebrate Woodware's latest release. And it is one hell of a collection. It's beautiful. And I know that you've all fallen in love with it because we've seen the kind of response from the shows on Hobby Maker. Francoise was with us on Hobby Maker on Monday. Was it Monday?
Yes.
Oh, I got a kind of questioning yes
Monday.
from the corners.
Yes, correct. It was Monday.
I think it was Monday, wasn't it? Tracking back through the days. So yes, she was with us on Monday, and it ended up on limited stock for the main bundle. I think we've added a bit more now, so there is a little bit more available online. Looking back to the independent adjudicator for this verification, and he's lost me. He's sniggering over in comments, and I've lost him. but I am pretty sure that more stock was added. So if you do wish to shop with Hobby Maker, then of course there may still be stock available. But this evening it is all about our stockists, and I have a list to give you. So I'm going to read out the list for the first time now. We'll read it again in a little while after we've looked through the bundle, so you can see what items are available. We'll look through some cards, and we'll also fit in some demos, hopefully over the next hour or so. So if you would like to know where to track down the items we're going to be looking at, this is just a little glimpse of where you could be going to find them. The Art of Craft, The Stamper, Out of Town Crafts, Dragon's Paper Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, Gilly's Crafts, Into Craft, Craft Mania, as mentioned, Hobby Maker, and we should have a little button for this. We haven't prepared the button.
I'm not sure which button I can press.
I don't know what button we're going to get. But Craft Bliss as well. Now, Craft Bliss should have a little secret button. We should have a demo day related button, Pete. We need to like highlight one with a Sharpie so that we know which one it is. But tomorrow...
I can't press it.
No, don't. We'll rehearse and we'll do this another day. But our demo day tomorrow is taking place. Gwen Fletcher will be in place at Craft Bliss, which is located in Poole in Dorset, tomorrow from 10 AM to 4 PM, bringing you inspiration with this collection and the Jamie Rodgers Crafts Diamonds collection. So if you are in the area, do pop in because you're going to have a great day tomorrow. 10 AM till 6 PM, free to attend. Julie and Barry will certainly be the hostesses with the mostesses and will be on hand to look after you, as they always do to all of their people who pop through the door. So do pop in and have a little look. If you'd like to know more about that, maybe you'd like a postcode, maybe you'd like more kind of information, then check out the event section to this page where it will tell you more about the event taking place tomorrow. But it is, of course, our next big demo day, which is really, really exciting. So the collection, just in case you've been living under a rock and you've missed it, we do this, don't we? Things happen before our very eyes and we don't always keep up with them. So this is the new collection from Francois Reed. This, of course, is under the Woodware brand that we bring to you here at Creative Expressions. And like all good collections from Francois, there is an amazing paper pad that is well and truly worth having a look at. I never read out Julia Watts Crafts, did I? Julia Watts has got this. I know she has, and I didn't read that out. I'm going to put that back on my little list because I'm sure Julia's got this. I think that one's one I've missed from copying one list to the other. So Julia Watts Crafts is another one on that list for you as well. So watercolour pads. This one is 24 double-sided sheets. There is 4 sheets of each colourway, 6 designs in total, and these are double-sided. I love these because we don't always have the time or the... I don't want to say expertise, because I think anyone can do kind of messy backgrounds and mixed backgrounds and watercolour effects, but sometimes we don't feel confident to create them. And even if we do create them, it's not always easy to recreate them multiple times. So if you do want multiple sheets of a pattern, of a colour, of a style that is going to be able to run through multiple pages of a book maybe, or maybe you want to batch make cards, then this is a great way to make sure that everything coordinates for you. I also love the way with Francois, she's given you 2 very different styles. You've kind of got the painty side on one side and then the splattery side on the other, so you can pick which side you would like to work with. These are uncoated, so of course you can stamp on them, you can die cut them, you can emboss them. They're a really nice weight as well. I'm trying to remember by the top of my head. It's 140 GSM and they're of course 8 by 8. The recommended retail price for the pads is $10.99, so they're a great price point as well, for considering you're receiving 24 double-sided sheets. There is then 2 dies in this collection. Now these are really, really, really proving to be incredibly, incredibly popular. We're going to start off with this one here. This is the Tattered Layers die. Now these are boards that Francoise has done for us, and I think these are ingenious because it shows you a bit of what she was aiming for when designing them. You can see you've got 4 photo corners nestled within these. So these are 4 separate corners, but actually if you put them back to back and cut them out, they do make this lovely little pattern, or of course you can build out the cutouts to make up that pattern as well. There is a little sentiment tab in there too, and then you've got your tatty layers. Now these are great because not only has Francoise given us tatty layers of different sizes, she's also given us flat and rounded panels to run through them. There is also the perfect matten layer to go on an A6 card and still give you a bit of a shadow around it. So if you are somebody who loves to make A6 cards, this is the perfect panel set for you. There is 11 dies within that set and its recommended retail price is $14.99. You can see here a few elements that Francoise has brought in from different sets to show you how this is going to coordinate throughout her collections. Francoise is a grand believer of building a library. So as we kind of move through collections, more and more items work together in a harmonious way. The other die to mention, this has been incredibly popular. I am safe to say it is sold out here at HQ. We have no more of them, and they will be about 4 or 5 weeks at this stage before they return back in stock. It's been that popular. This is the fragment craft die, and I tell you this because if you do find it at one of the stockists I've mentioned, grab it quick, because when they're gone, there's a 5-week-ish wait till they're going to be back in stock and heading back out to our stockists again. There really is limited pickings for this one out and about. The fragment die is one big die. It's incredible. I keep saying this, and I probably confess far too much. When I see this come through from Francoise as her design files do, I really wasn't sure. I really didn't know what was going on here. I just didn't get it. I'll be honest, I didn't get it. And I thought, I can't see why we need this. What is this about? But that isn't, and that is never a conversation we have. I'm genuinely a complete believer that all of our designers, they all have a style. They all have their reasoning. It's not my job to question why they want something. If they want it, they've designed it. It's our job to facilitate that for them and then see where that takes them. Where does that journey go from where we've started? So we try to give them as much freedom to be as creative as they can be. But just like you do, whenever we see something, we make an instant opinion of it, don't we? We read that book by its cover and we formulate whether we're going to purchase it or be involved with it or want that for our stash. And again, this is why we bring you different designers, because if we all did what I liked, or we all did what Francois liked, or we all did what Sue liked, then we're going to end up with a lot of the same product, and that really isn't very a sensible move, and everyone has their own style and flavour. And this die has really genuinely shocked me, because being honest, I wasn't too sure about it. But actually, it hasn't left my personal desk since I've started playing with it, because it is such a fun die to create with. Now, you're going to see here, just on these panels that Francoise has done, she's stamped on it and cut it out, and you can see it's the perfect size to go with all of her A6 backing stamps. It doesn't just have to be this release, it might be previous collections as well. You can, of course, cut it as a solid like she has done here, or, of course, you could start cutting it from old books, paper pads, all of those bits and pieces too. But not only can you use it as one panel, as demonstrated down here on this panel, she's gone in and she's cut some bits, she's left some bits kind of up in the air, she's used it in patches, whether that's up or down, your choice, but it gives that kind of peekaboo-esque window effect, doesn't it? Personally, this makes my heart happy. Seeing it cut out from a stamped image, I just really love it. When I did a couple of my cards, I haven't got them at the moment because I've sent them off to a magazine for an article, but I actually stamped it twice and layered one on top of the other, so actually underneath the apertures you still see the sheet. You don't have to do that. The way Francoise has done this here with the white shining through from underneath works really nicely too. So this is the fragment die. Again, $14.99 is the recommended retail price for that one. Code-wise, by the way, WFRD006 for this one and 007 for the previous one. This one's getting quite limited. This one has officially sold out here at HQ. So again, keep an eye out for those if they're ones you want to get hold of. There will be a delay now waiting for them to return back in stock. Then there are two stencils. We have got our first one, which is called Harmony, and we've got our second one, which is called Garden Mosaic, and these are traditional Francoise Reed stencils in the sense that she's given you 3 panels that you can build up or use in sort of part if you prefer. They're on a 6x6 format, and it just gives you lots of different patterns to play with straight out of the stencil. You know, normally we just bring you one pattern on a stencil. To actually be able to have 3, great value for money, great versatility, and a great way to kind of go in and make some lovely distressed elements with them, or of course match them up for bigger backgrounds if that's what you would prefer to do. The recommended retail price of these is $5.99.
49. 5.49.
$5.49. Oh, even better. I'm doing a bit of a memory test tonight. I forgot to do our post-its. So this is all done by memory. It's not good. Never very a strong vibe for me to try and go by memory. Okay, and then, of course, we're chatting woodware, so we're chatting stamps. This is our first one, floral envelope. We then move on to text and numbers. Now, okay, we're kind of going off on tangents already. Big A6 backing plate stamp, ready to use straight out of the pack, one big stamp. Text and numbers, as you can see, all individual components. These individual components matching beautifully with the details found throughout the major stamps. Then we've got teacup blooms, beautiful flower coming through here. The chrysanthemum's really vibrantly popping out of that teacup and giving her a great scene. Butterflies above it, of course, and some journaling aspects around it. You can see how that's going to lend itself across these two sets already to do additional areas. Then we've got faux stationery, so lots of different tabs, bulldog clips, fragile stamps, postmarks, little washi tape ripped elements, little numbers to add in around sets as well. Then we've got wire mesh. Now I love this one because it reminds me of honeycomb. It goes really well with the Jamie Rodgers Crafts B stamp that we bought you recently, but of course could also be heat embossed in nice silvers and bits to go kind of rustic and very wire meshy, chicken kind of mesh kind of vibe. So maybe going into cogs and mechanical and bits like that as well. Then this one is the Poppy Cup. This again has now sold out here at HQ, if I believe. I'm getting the nod from the independent adjudicator. This one again sold out here. And will this be back? And when will it be back here?
Be at least 4 weeks.
4 weeks for stamps, a little bit quicker for stamps. All our stamps for Woodware are currently made in the UK. So we do get them a little bit quicker. We never really talk about that, but these are made in the UK. Our papers are printed in the UK. Our stencils are cut in the UK. Something we're very, very proud of. But actually, bizarrely, we don't tend to tell you that very often. Then we've got our fancy butterflies. So fancy butterflies coming in with the word art dotted around it, and then lots of numbers and little pieces to match in with them, little dots, buttons, textural pieces to build up backgrounds. And the butterflies are beautiful because they're very silhouette, but located within them, you're going to find postmarks and pieces that are all marked out. Even some of the flower aspects are coming through on these to kind of act as a negative instead of a positive. Then we've got Marguerite. Our final one in the collection. Marguerite, beautiful flowers, very vibrant, very full on. Little tags above it, keys. And again, you're seeing the numbers coming in, the postmarks, everything coordinating together. That is your complete collection. This is the Floral Stationery collection from Francois Reed for Woodware. And it's, as I say, genuinely beautiful to work with and a lot of fun to play with. So shall we do our first demo to begin with, and then we'll break off, we'll have a look at a few cards, and if we have time, we'll try and squidge in a second demo, but we'll see how the evening goes. I don't want to keep you forever. I'm sure you've all got lots to be doing this evening, and listening to me waffle endlessly probably isn't high on the agenda, so we'll see how the evening goes. But we'll start off and we'll do our first card, shall we? So this is the card that I wanted to create with you all, if that's okay. This is, of course, bringing in that lovely stamp we was just looking at, the Marguerite stamp. And we've also got the wire mesh in the background. I'm just going to bring my ribbon up to the top there so you can see that laying over the edge of the picture. So this is a really simple one to create. There's nothing complicated here at all. If you have any questions as we're going through it, please don't hesitate to ask. I'll do my very best to answer them for you. But where we're going to start with this one is, of course, by locating the stamp that we wish to work with. So we'll stick to the same stamp. We'll go in and find our Marguerite stamp. I've got my one off here just with the covers on it, so we can remove the top cover and, of course, our reverse cover, our acetate panels. And we'll bring that stamp in. We're going to load it into a stamp press, and we're going to stamp this out. So let's lay that onto here and bring in some white card. Now we'll move these little magnets out of the way so we can anchor that down. Now, if there are any questions, Pete, please don't hesitate to jump in while I'm doing me stamping and me colouring. We could be here a minute.
Yeah, we'll do.
Oh, it'd help if I could keep hold of the ink pad, Pete. So I'm just going to use a VersaFine ink for this one. I know that I'm going to be going in with some moisture and some liquid in a minute, and I know that this will withstand that beautifully. So we're going to stamp that down and get a nice impression. Now, one of the bits I love with these, and I'll show you this if we get onto our second demo, is how easy these are to extend and build out to make bigger backgrounds if that's what you would like to do. You can see that kind of way they can kind of tile stamp out into bigger formats if that's what you'd like to do with them. Beautiful, crisp, clean image, so simple to work with, so easy to work with. Let's remove that from here. We'll come back to our stamp press in a little while, but let's bring in some dies. So we're going to go in for our tattered layers, and we're going to use the largest one from that. And I've already got a little bit of tape to just hold that in place. And we're going to send this through on our plates. Now, I forgot to read out the list again, didn't I, for your stockists for this collection. So while this is going through, I'll do an 18-second challenge and see if I can read out the list. So are you ready? The products we're looking at are available from The Art of Craft, The Stamp Hut, Out of Town Crafts, Dragons Paper Crafts, Julia Watts Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, Gillies Crafts, Into Craft, Craftmania, Craft Bliss, and Hobby Maker. Internationally, they're available at the Paper and Ink Boutique. I think I got that.
That was pretty spot
That
on,
weren't too
wasn't
bad,
it?
was
That's
it?
good.
That wasn't too bad.
Gets
The
a
list
gold
in 18
star.
seconds. A gold star. Ooh. You heard it here first. Get a gold star.
Oh, it will soon be undone soon, won't it?
Will it? What do you mean it will soon
Dropping
be undone?
them spoilers, I'm sure.
Oh, spoilers. What spoilers could we be dropping, Peter?
Don't know.
What could we possibly share this evening with the world that they wouldn't already know about? I don't know. Okay, let's take out the die. And of course, our cutout has come out of that beautifully. So there is our panel being left. Now, of course, we could foam pad that up. We could leave that within it. We could stamp a few of the worker stamps around it and then place that back on it if we wanted to. But we don't want to do any of that. We want the panel. So we're going to take the panel out of the way and we're going to find a mat to work on or a tray to work on. You know, I like to work on my baking trays whenever I'm going to get messy. So we're going to lay this down and we're going to bring in one of our mica mists. And this is one of the Jamie Rodgers Crafts ones. It is the Copper Pearl. And we're going to give it a good shake so that ball bearing can get in there and mix up all of that mica into the liquid. So we've got a really nice, vibrant, shimmery copper to play with. And we're going to mist this over the top. Now, what I love about stamping in black and then misting with a mister is that you'll find that the black ink will take on the colour. So we will end up with a more subdued black line. It won't be as intense as it was. It will dilute down and we will end up with a really nice coppery shiny line that we can play with. Now we can do lots to this if we wish to. If you have got a bit carried away, maybe your mica has come out a bit too heavy, a bit too intense, we can start playing around with this panel slightly. Genuinely, I'm actually very happy with that. I would leave that as it is, but I want you to see what I mean by if we add too much on. So all I'm going to do is bring in just some water, just ordinary water, and I'm going to mist that about a little, and I'm going to bring in a paintbrush, and we're going to start just taking it away and diluting that down. So we can really strip this back quite nicely, so it's quite light and playful. One of the things I also really like to do with this technique when I'm doing it is because a paintbrush can leave it kind of streaky, like you can see here, there's a few lines going through it. So if we bring in a piece of paper and we screw it up into a ball, we can then use this as a bit of texture and we can start going in and blotting that about. And what it means is the mica that's sat, instead of being in lines and stripes and areas, it'll just move that around slightly and we'll end up with a much more textural background. And I would just pat and pat and pat until I'm happy with it. Now the paper in question, of course, we can take this, we can flatten that back out, we can mist over the top of this, we can use this again, or we can just discard of it because it's just a piece of crumpled paper. Whatever your choice may be, but never waste nothing if you don't want to. These can be used. But we'll take that one away and we'll have our panel as is. So we'll give that a little lift so you can see what we have created. Now, can you already see this? I don't know how well it's going to come across. I'm going to try and get it so you can see it. Oh, is it going to come through? There we go. So now we've made that lovely little texture on the background there, and you can see that copper radiating throughout them black lines. So you end up, hopefully you can see this, and it kind of raises the lines up ever so slightly. They kind of go slightly more prominent. And they take on that mica shimmer, and to me it just really makes it look quite lovely. And I tell you this every time we talk about stamping, every time we talk about colouring. I'm not the best colourist. I'm really, 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 really not. And do you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that. But it does mean I'm going to confess to you every time I come up with a way to make my colouring, I think, look better. And I feel that doing this in the background just kind of infills a bit, makes it a bit more shabby chicy, makes it a little bit more forgiving of where we're going to go next when I bring in colour and start adding these on my own. Because sometimes you just need that little distraction, and I think the copper being located throughout it is going to do that for us. Oh, Peter, I seem to have lost my green. Not something I thought I would say, but that's fine. We'll just do some yellow. Do not fear. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a distress ink. Now you can do this with pretty much any dye-based ink pads, any water-based ink pads as such. We can tap them out. We can then bring in some water and we can mix that in to create a paint. And then we're going to just start taking some of this paint or liquid or ink, whatever we wish to refer to it as, and coming over and adding that back into our picture. Now, of course, we can go back in and add shading, and something I absolutely love about Francoise's stamps is she makes shading and colouring very, very easy, even for people like me who often say, oh, I'm really not very good at that. There's a lot laid out for us to show us where to add that colour. We don't have to be the most confident colourists, because if she's thought of it, she's added in little dots, she's added in lines, she's added in areas for us to be able to easily add our colour to. Now, of course, as we pick up that copper that is already wet and laying on this picture, we're going to find that that's going to blend in and it's going to give us this lovely yellow copper tone that's going to work really nicely. So we're going to add a few bits of this around into this flower. Now, of course, you could paint these in the shades you want to. You could make these pictures up as you wish, but I do love a lovely bright yellow flower. Excuse me,
That's
sorry. Thank you, Peter.
A very nice brush you're using there, James.
Shush, Peter, shush. You are going to get another naughty star tonight.
Have I already got one?
Yes, you got one for the beginning
did,
when you was
I?
like, oh, hello, Emma, hello, Sue, and evicted me. I don't know why I just turned you into like that was like, hello, Barbie.
Who was Let's go party.
Had a bit of vibe of that, didn't it? A bit of aqua going on there.
This is our Friday night entertainment with Jamie and Peter.
Oh, I don't think we're allowed to sing, are we? I think
No, we're
Facebook
not.
gets a bit naughty with us if we sing.
Don't.
It was a little, well, it weren't singing, it was more like grunting, but we have to be careful. But it did have a little bit of a tone there of an attempt.
Oh,
do you remember?
We've got a new viewer this evening. We need to be very good.
Oh, they're not going to come
Evening,
back.
Shani. She says, new to watching, just purchased my first products from Francoise.
Very good, very good.
Love the fragment die, which I've managed to get to.
Francoise is a very more professional demonstrator than you're going to get this evening, I'm afraid. I'm sorry in advance, I will apologise, but we do have a laugh. You do get a little bit of randomness from me and Pete live.
You do.
They're not always advisable to watch, but we do chuckle our way through the evenings with these.
Kim says I need to keep hinting.
Keep hinting. No,
Kim,
no more
very,
hinting.
very naughty.
No more hinting. He will tell you everything. He's not good, Kim. It used to be me. It was me that would tell you everything. But now that has been passed on. It is very much gone over to Peter. And Peter is the one who confesses all secrets. That's what I'm sticking to anyway. So I don't seem to have brought in a brown. So we're just going to kind of mix a little bit of a brown between aged mahogany and our lovely yellow, which is wild honey, to go in kind of what I'm not at all a floral expert, but these always remind me of sunflowers. So I'm kind of going off on a bit of a sunflower tangent, but if I'm doing this completely wrong and the colours really aren't right, then it doesn't matter, does it? You can colour them as you wish to and create the flowers you want them to be. It really doesn't have to be what's right or wrong, it's just what looks pretty to my eye. So Laura today has left her spongy here, so ha, Laura. Sorry about this. She is watching, is she? Look what I've got. I've got your spongy. So we'll use that to clear off our brush just quickly. I found this under the desk. I was like, oh, that's Laura's. So I pinched it. I'm going to have to take one. I haven't yet taken one of those. I've got one of those. I need to add one of those into my collection. If you've not seen those before, they are spongy cloths by Polka Doodles, which is one of the brands we, of course, distribute here at Creative Expressions, and it's something that Laura has made me absolutely fall in love with recently, and I need to bring one of those into my world because it is the best cleaning cloth I have found. Very, very, very forgiving. Okay, now, obviously, all I'm doing here, not obviously, but what I'm doing here is I'm just adding in some of that copper more intensely. I'm inventing words tonight, I do apologise. More intent? I don't know. Darker shading. Let's go with shading. We're going to do some shading where the dots are with that mister. just to continue on that lovely copper feel. Now you don't have to do that again, and if you do it a bit heavy, then we can go in and just blot it away and take away any excess, but it's just to make sure that those flowers have got a nice kind of halo effect of that copper running around them. And then we might add in, maybe we're going to pick out some details in some of the other areas. So this one is peacock feathers. We'll go in and squidge out a bit of water, turn that one into a paint, just like we did the previous ones. And then we'll start adding this into these areas as well. Now I am getting a bit carried away normally when I demo something like this. We don't do too much colouring, but it's kind of fun to share with you how quickly these pictures can come together and how little we really need to do. We don't have to do all of it. We can just pick out components. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Now, if you would like to win the card that we're going to create this evening, your question to win it tonight is, what is your favourite medium to add colour to a stamped image with, or to add colour with? Let's go with that. Do you prefer pens? Do you prefer pencils? Do you prefer inks? Do you prefer paints? What is it you reach for? What's your go-to medium if you have one? Or do you kind of radiate through lots of different things like I tend to? At the moment, I'm in a bit of an inky stage, so I'm enjoying using my ink pads as paints. But I do like a good pen. Fun pens, different pens can always be great to kind of work with. So what's yours? Tell us in the comments, and Pete will pick one winner at the end of the live to win whatever it is we have created this evening, whatever finished cards we've made. We'll send them out to you wherever you may be in the world. Okay, I think that's probably enough. Now I have forgot my green ink, so I would normally go in and pick out the foliage around this as well. I might even do a bit more toning in on the tag to make that stand out slightly, but this will give you just a glimpse at what you could be creating. Nothing too complicated. You've seen I haven't overly lingered very long. I've just thrown colour in, and because we've got that kind of copper base running across it, very forgiving, very easy to do. So this, of course, was the copper mica mist. We do these in 12 colours. So if copper isn't your cup of tea, there is, of course, silvers and golds and whites and all of the different shades you can think of that you could actually add down. First of all, it doesn't have to be copper. But I do find with Francois stamps, that kind of vintage copper feel goes to them very nicely. Now, I don't know how well that's, you might see it there. But can you see that beautiful shimmer that's coming across this image? Even on the black lines, that is being picked out by that mica. Isn't that lovely? Whether you like my colouring or even the stamp, it's just nice to be able to hook that out and shine through with that little bit of shimmer, that little halo effect that that creates. So I've got one of these that I've already done that is dried, to give you a little glimpse of this one. A little bit of green going in there, a little bit more going on. But of course that shimmer is once again coming through. If I do the same here with a white, you can see there is no reflection at all. It is when we look to that lovely mica that you're getting that lovely glisten come through. So let's start on the next part of this then, shall we? Let's bring in another piece of white card. And we're going to go to our background now. So we're going to start building up what's going to go behind these panels, because it's important that we complement the background with the foreground. So we'll go back into our stamp press and we're going to find that lovely wire stamp. Again, we'll just take off our top image or acetate, and we'll get to the back one as well. And we're going to place this down just inside the stamp press, just slightly further in than we need it to be. And we're going to bring that over, and we're going to lay that down again. And we're going to go back into our distress inks. Now, I know we don't always think to stamp with distress inks, which might sound odd, because you would imagine that all ink pads you stamp with. But a lot of people don't like to stamp with distress inks because it gives that distressed finish. I personally quite like that, especially when I'm going to go a bit more vintage and a little bit more shabby chicy. So we're going to stamp with this and see what we can create. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? That's a nice vibrant background. And again, because we've gone for distress ink, we've got that kind of patchiness to it. We've got those tones. We're just going to slide this up because my card is going to be slightly bigger than the A6 panel that this stamps. And we're going to have a little look to see if we're in the right area-ish to extend that. I'll move that over just a smidge, and then we'll add on some more ink, just to make sure that we've got a nice panel. Now we're going to cover the majority of the middle of this, so if this isn't a spot-on join, doesn't really matter. but we just kind of want it to look like it's kind of intentionally joining roughly in the same area. Oh, that's not too bad. I am going to add a little bit more ink to this top bit, just because I think that section's slightly lighter, and I'd like that to be slightly more intense. Very nice, very nice. Now, of course, we are going to trim this out because it's a bit too big for now what we need, but it's nice for you to see how you can, not seamlessly, there is a join. You know, if we do our pattern match stamps from Jamie Rodgers Crafts, for instance, if you would like a perfect pattern match, this wasn't intended as a pattern match, but I don't think that many recipients are going to study that overlap and notice that that is there, me being me. You might, so if you do, you don't have to do that. But to me, I think by the time we've started building up on top of it, that's going to be quite forgiving and we're not really going to notice it. So let's do some of that, shall we? Let's build these up and see what we think. So we're going to go on to our card blank. I'll give you a measurement in just a moment. But we're going to try and pick out that mica shimmer and that kind of little glint of sparkle and shine. So we're going to add in some gold mirror card to our layers so that it hopefully complements that copper. We're then going to add on the panel that we have just stamped, but obviously a slightly trimmed down version. Now, my lovely parents who make my kits have stamped this one. Their pattern matching, a little bit better than mine. Kind of impressed, actually, being completely honest. Very good matching. They've managed to match it up with just a little bit of overlap over here in comparison to what I did. That was really good. Again, I don't think it matters because we're not really going to see it. And I think with such a lovely kind of faded vintage background, no one's really going to be picking that bit out of it. We've got broken bits and we've got inky overlaps and bits, so I don't think anyone's going to really mind or notice. We're going to take our next panel and we're going to stick this slightly north of the border as such because we want to leave enough area down here to add in a sentiment. We're going to bring in a white layer to go on top of it, which has been cut with the matching die from in the set, so that we've got that perfect frame for our panel to sit within. And then we're going to bring in the panel that we've been creating. And I've just had a couple of gold gems added onto this, just some 3mm gold gems that we're going to, again, complementing the gold that's found throughout the card. To finish this off embellishment-wise, we are going to go for a happy birthday. That is going to sit down here, again, matching in that gold onto that matching banner. Now, size-wise for this card, we are looking at just over 6 inches. By just over 8, so about 8 1/4 by, I suppose, oh no, it's about 6 actually. So yeah, 8 1/4 by 6 inches to give you an exact measurement-ish. Do you like that? Exact-ish? That's some good English, isn't it? And then to finish this off, I've just tied a white ribbon around it. This is one of our sheer ribbons we bring you from Creative Expressions, 15mm white sheer ribbon, and I've just tied that around it and added a bow just to finish off the overall look. I always think if you add a ribbon, it kind of ticks that shabby chicy bit, but it also gives you a little bit of elegance to kind of elevate the card slightly. I love a ribbon. I am guilty of ribbons. I will add ribbons to every card if I can. When I sit there making them, I try to count up how many ribbons I've added to how many of my cards, just so not every one of them ends up with a ribbon. I get a little bit ribbon carried away, which is why at Creative Expressions we now carry, I believe it's 130 types of ribbon. 130 is about 130 different styles, widths, sizes, types of ribbon, from sheers to lurexes to satins to you name it. We do a little bit of it because I'm a bit ribbon addicted, to be fair. Confessions of a ribbonaholic. Okay, so we'll pop that off to one side and we will pick out a winner to win that one shortly. But tonight, I do want to share with you some of the amazing creations from the DT. Now, I know you might have seen some of these previously, but they're too good to not share again. Maybe you've already ordered the bundles, maybe you've ordered the ones you want, maybe you're just looking for a little bit of a refresher of inspiration. So let's take you through a few of these. Again, as always, any questions, don't hesitate to yell. We'll do our best to answer them for you. So here we've got one from Christine. Christine's used that lovely Marguerite stamp. She's done some lovely colouring across the top here. She's brought in the stencils and used those for some of our Crafty Concoction colours around the top here. Some of our white shard texture paste, where she's obviously then mixed in the same colour inks that she's used in the background to make that texture paste the same shade. So we've got kind of a nice tone on tone effect. Siobhan has done a lovely one here where she is stamped in black on white. She's used the stencils to add in the purple around the edges. And then she's done this cool spotlight technique with using the same stamped image, cut out with circles and then coloured in to make these little focal points nestled throughout the design. Laura has brought in the same stamp set again, but she's used purples this time. And again, she's used the fragment panel and the tattered layers panel and offset them and used some of the stencils on one side and some of the worker stamps from that lovely set of stamps. I forget the name already, but this set of stamps around the edges. I can never remember all of the names, honestly. I fail all of the time with that. Then we move on to another one from Siobhan, and this is great because we're really starting to see our different colours now, haven't we? We've kind of got our burgundies, we've got our lilacs, we've got our purples, and then we've kind of got our soft pinks coming in here with that lovely aquary teal shade. And I love the way that Siobhan has toned that in with gold. I think that is so rich and elegant to see those colours sit side by side. Then we move forward from there, and Laura has gone very Daisy-esque in my opinion. I'm no Alan Titchmarsh, but they give me Daisy vibes. And this time she has cut and layered them, building them up on top to create some depth. And again, the same with the tag here. She's done a bit of distress into the tag. She's tied some cord through it. So again, you can use these backing stamps as kind of a platform to build forward from. Now, we have a card from the master herself, the designer extraordinaire. Our lovely Françoise has created this one. And it is actually a really clever card. Not that I'm surprised, but it is really, really clever. I love the way as a designer she goes about her items, and then when she brings them to be creative and actually make her samples, you can see her mind has gone off on all these different tangents and brought them all together to make a gorgeous card. Now, one of the bits I want to point out are these layers underneath this panel. Now, of course, this panel has been built up with one of the stamps, but if you notice these little corner elements, these are the panel from in that die set being bought out and just added onto the card to make these little landing spots to then put the big panel on top of them. The stencil is of course working in the background over the top of the paper pad, and then that little worker set of stamps is being used down the side here to just fill in that white void. It really does set that complete card off, having all of these background elements building up, really complementing the same colours and tones being used throughout it. Another one again created by Françoise, this time bringing in the lost and found keys again and some of the different elements, the paper clips and bits. Paper in the background, worker stamps down the side of it, postmarks over on one side. Again, tattered layers being die cut from that stamp to then be built up. And I like the little string element and the little paper clip running through that. Another one from Françoise, this time going blues and beiges and browns, which looks so rich, so cold, so very, very modern. Again, adding on different elements, including little strings, and then we've got the lost and found little bulldog clip again, and the paper clip down one side. See some of the papers being torn up and used down the sides as well, and we've got some of the Jamie Rodgers Crafts textured papers within this one as well. And then this is gorgeous. This is one that Laura has created. And Laura has used several elements from different stamps, all being added onto that tattered layers die set, and being then added across her card with papers in the background, worker stamps being stamped on top of them, and then different elements from the lost and found set of dies from Woodware to just kind of go in and accentuate those. And again, tie in the gold that we can see throughout the layers. I think that's a really lovely card and shows that although they are A6 designs, doesn't mean we have to use them as A6 designs. Like for instance, let's have a little look. This flower on this one comes from this set of stamps. So this is your floral envelope. Now, if I was picking bits out of this, I'd probably pick out the envelope. But Laura's gone in and highlighted the flowers, and I just think that looks so clever. Then, of course, we've got the flowers down here from the Marguerite stamp. We've got the poppy flowers coming in. We've got the chrysanthemum coming in. We've got the little key. Now, the key is nestled off on the top here of the Marguerite stamp. So again, not using all of those stamps in their entirety, but just focusing in on different elements, and it works so, so well. Let's move on to pile number 2, shall we? See what joy we can find in this one. So this one, of course, is the Poppy Cup. This is now sold out here at HQ. Now that means that these are now all available at our stockists. So when they're gone with our stockists, it will be a few weeks till they return. But if this is one that you've got on your radar to get hold of, have a little look around because our stockists are likely to still have them. They only launched on Tuesday. It's just when our stockists come back to reorder them, they're going to find that sadly we've got a bit of a wait until they return back in stock again. Now I've stopped at this stage laying them out because I just wanted to talk to you about a couple of bits. This one by Christine. How cool is this, the way Christine has actually cut these out, built them going up the side here, and then created a little like clipboard using the stamp of the bulldog clip and the layers from the tattered layers with a lovely rounded corner, adding on the little paper clips from the lost and found set to just hold everything together. Then this one, beautiful card from Siobhan, again bringing in that lovely stamped image, adding in some lace dies, adding in some like file dies, bringing in the papers again and using that lovely chicken wire stamp, which isn't called chicken wire, is it? It's called wire mesh stamp over the background. It's me who called it chicken wire earlier and I'm confusing myself. Then this is a cool card. This one is actually, I believe, the one that Francoise did live on Hobbymaker, and she's used the fragment die but in a different way. I thought this was a really great idea because she didn't want to make it too heavy, she didn't want it to go all the way across the card. All she's done is cut it down the centre and then stuck it on either side of the circle. The circle hides the fact that it's just two panels stuck either side of it, but it works, doesn't it? Over the top of that, she's also used the stencils, and this is of course cut from our Jamie Rodgers Crafts craft paper, so it just builds up beautifully. She even used our OptiGold texture paste over some of the painting that she did with the Chromolab inks to give that little hint of golden shimmer and sparkle across those flowers. It looks beautiful, especially in reality. Sometimes on screen they don't always come across as well, but it really does look lovely here. Another beautiful one here, adding in some papers, adding in some torn pages, adding in those components once again, that lovely wire stamp down the other side, the photo corners holding the panel in place, lovely little finishing touches that really make the world of difference to that card. Then another one from Francoise. This time she has gone in again. She's used our lovely Jamie Rodgers Crafts textured paper. She's added the photo corners on it to make it look a little bit like a notice board. She's used the poppy stamp, but she's cut it out with a fragment die set. And then around it, she's brought in all of those little worker stamp elements, and then tied it together with cord and added on some of the lost and found elements from the die set to really bring in that kind of vintage, kind of corkboardy feel to the whole creation. Then we'll move on and we'll have a look at the next set, shall we? Hopefully you're enjoying seeing this inspiration. Now, if you would like to, you will be able to soon find all of these on the Creative Expressions website. We have an idea gallery that we put up for every release. Now, this one hasn't gone live just yet, but keep an eye out over the next couple of days because it will. And then you'll be able to pop on there and you'll be able to save all of the photos that you want to recreate when your collection arrives, or when you kind of run out of ideas, as we sometimes do, when we have those mojo moments that we just need a little bit of inspiration. So pop onto the Creative Expressions website, have a little look under the idea gallery. Every collection has a tab. Give that tab a click and it will open up and it will show you all of the items in that release, and then it will show you all of the cards that all of the team have created with that set to give you that inspirational kind of mojo moment that we need. Now this of course is with the floral envelope. Now there are some beautiful samples going through here. I know that we spoke about a lot of these last week, so I'm just going to kind of flick for a few and highlight a couple of them for you. Now these ones are for our butterflies. We'll go to those in just a moment. I think two of my piles have got mixed up, so let's bring in these ones. Oh, here we go, there's another one. This is cool because this one's on MDF, which I love. This one by Christine, lovely blending colouring going on in the background. And then I've got a couple here by Francoise, and two very different effects from the same stamp. One she's used with the postage stamp die set from Woodware once again. This is sold out at HQ now as well, is it not?
Yes.
So if you've got your eye on the postage stamp die set, again, keep an eye out at your stockists. That will return, but again, it's going to be another kind of 6 weeks-ish, 5 weeks-ish for the dies to return. But of course, they may well be available at stockists already, so do snap them up if that's one you've got your eyes on. Then this one over here, again, going back into those tatty layered elements, cutting those out and then building up the different components around it. Two stunning cards from Francoise. I really love this paper pad being used in the background. That kind of vintage feel lends itself so beautifully into this collection, doesn't it? You can really see why Francoise has designed that in the way she has to create these stunning backgrounds to go with this collection. Then the butterfly set. Let's have a little look at a few cards created with this one as well. Now these butterflies are stunning. That silhouette effect but yet having those patterns within it, not a solid silhouette, an open silhouette, beautiful details running through them. They really do, whatever colour you stamp them in, come out looking really cool, modern, vintage effects. Now, there's a few different creators who have made these, all of course from our DT, but you can see they've all gone off on their own kind of tangents, whether it be shades of blue, shades of green, shades of purple, shades of black. They work so well. This one again done by Francoise, building up her dies, adding in that lovely wire stamp in the background, bringing in again those lost and found elements, and adding that bulldog clip once again on the top to make that kind of clipboard effect. This one's a fun one. This one's done by Siobhan. Again, going back to them circles, them kind of tile elements that she's stamped on top of, adding in the sentiments around it. And another one here from Christine, where she's gone for those shades of blues, made up a panel, and then anchored it down with those photo corners. That really sets that panel off as well, doesn't it? Then let's move on to our next one, shall we? See what we can share with you next. So this one is the lovely cup design. I think it's called Floral Cup, is it, Peter? Testing you now.
One is a floral cup.
One is a this is the floral cup then. This is the one with the beautiful chrysanthemums in it. So lots of inspiration again, sharing with you how all of your different colours run through this. And actually what's really nice with the first three here, as somebody who often confesses that they're not the best at colouring, no real colouring going on here. It's all about the background colours. It's all about the backing shades. This isn't a beautifully coloured in flower that's really kind of coming out and popping out as an individual item like it is on this one. These are more, there's a little bit of hint, a little bit of blending, a little bit of colouring, but no real intense colouring, no challenging colouring as such, just more using the tones of the backgrounds. Of course, if you are great at colouring and you enjoy colouring, then of course this is an open stamp design for you to go in and colour. But again, maybe you just want to stamp it in black and white and build it up, or maybe you want to cut it out with a fragment die, or maybe you want to use it on an A6 card and just add in some decorations in the background with our masks instead and our stencils. That gives you a little overview of the lovely floral cup. So let's skip forward now to a little bit of samples from our fragment die. Now this is the die once again that is sold out here at HQ, meaning that they are all in the hands of our stockists. So if that's one you want to get hold of, whether you're using them like I did here with our Scrap Boys paper, or like Christine did here with some lovely stamped images and then threading the keys back through it to give them kind of apertures, a real kind of look and need and workable area, then you can do that instead. And then lastly, our last little example I wanted to share with you this evening is this booklet that I want to take you through. This again is done by our lovely Siobhan on the DT, and she's tied it up with a ribbon. When we open this up, now this has gone through the miles, it's been in boxes and studios and all sorts, so let's give it a little tidy. But when we open this up, on one side, if you've not seen this already, we have got little tags created with a tattered layers die set, all being stamped on, all little punched eyeletted holes at the top and plain on the reverse, using the different dies throughout the set to create those. Little pocket that was being kept in. Then we have got postcards. Now these postcards have been stamped on the reverse with our lovely stamp set from jamierodgerscrafts to give you the carte postal and the place your stamp here imagery. But on the front of them, of course, all of these woodware elements coming through to create that postcard effect. Don't they look absolutely stunning? They really are beautiful, aren't they? Especially stamped in brown on top of that lovely coconut white style card. Now, if you're wondering why these are left plain, that is because Siobhan has thought of this. She has made a stationary gift set. All of these elements are designed for you to colour them in. And that little note tells the recipient, colour these in with whatever medium you wish to work with. And then you've got the joy of passing them on. It also explains that over this side are your cards and envelopes. And Siobhan has thought of everything. Even the envelopes have been stamped on so they coordinate within the design. And then the cards, all different images running throughout them. All of the different stamps featuring somewhere across them. And then to top that off, once you've received your cards, is a little wallet of all different sentiments, all with tape on ready, that you can then choose what card or which card you wish to use with which sentiment. So maybe you want to add a congratulations, maybe you want to add a happy anniversary, maybe you want to say a hello friend, maybe you want to say happy birthday. The choice is yours. You can go through any of these and add them on to complete the card and then send them out. Now, I know that the people who are watching this are most likely very talented card makers that probably wouldn't, really need a set like this created for them. But Siobhan's sharing with you here the idea that you could create this and pass this on to a non-crafty friend, or of course sell them, because you know us here at Creative Expressions, we love to give you the ability to be able to sell all of your creations. We genuinely believe that that's one of the most important things we can offer you as a company, is a really lenient angel policy, so that you can pass these on and make your pennies back from them if that's what you would like to do. There is no point investing pennies in products if you are a creator that likes to make for charity or that likes to make for business, and then limiting you in the amount you can make of them. So if you would like to make a little gift set like this and be able to send it out or sell it or give it as a present, then we want to make sure that you can, of course, do that if that's what you would like to do. Now, Peter, are there any questions before we move on to our next demo?
No, just love the cards.
They're incredible, aren't they? Don't they work so incredibly hard? Our DT across all of the company is incredible. I always say this, we couldn't do the job that we do without them. They work so hard to be able to bring all of that inspiration to you. And you can see they love it, they enjoy it, they create the most incredible things, and we're just very lucky to be able to share them with you on a regular basis like we do. Okay, the next card, let's give you a flash of this. I don't know how well this is going to come across on camera. Oh, hopefully you're seeing that nice and bright and colourfully. This one's a bit of a different technique. I'd never done this. I'd not seen this done before. I'm sure I haven't invented it. I'm sure somebody somewhere else has definitely done this previously, but it's a really simple and fun technique to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our stamp press once again. Let's dig back into that one. And we're going to find our Poppy Cup stamp. Now, I am teasing you a little, because don't forget, this is the one that is now sold out here at HQ. So you may have to do a little bit of digging to find this one out in the wilds at our Stockists. I'll give you a little read through again of our Stockist list in a moment so you can find them. We're going to bring in a piece of our Black Panther cardstock. Is it Black Panther? That name, Raven Black. Black Panther was the ink. Raven Black. And we're going to stamp on this using black ink. So this is our Elite cardstock. And I know this sounds silly, but as we know, there is like over 2,000 shades of white. There must be a similar, if not larger, spectrum to black card as well. So when we stamp on black with black, in this case, the black ink is a slightly darker shade than the actual cardstock. And this means that we're going to end up with this lovely effect. Now, when I did this, I really actually kind of liked it as it was, but I did think I wanted to add something more to it. So we're going to dig on in to some colouring pencils. And we're going to bring these in and we're going to start adding in some colour. So we're going to go for a nice red to begin with. And we're going to just start adding in some colour around these stamped images, just like we did before. Now, last time we was using inks. This time we're going to bring in some pencils. Now, if you haven't already, let me know in the comments why we're doing a bit of colouring on this one. What is your preferred medium to colour with? Do you like pens, pencils, inks, paints? What is it you reach for time after time? What's the product you go to? As I said earlier, I've been in a bit of an inky stage recently. I've enjoyed using my kind of dye inks and mushing them out and adding some water and painting with them. I've been having a lot of fun with the pencils, and also I've been playing with some very fun pens too. So I am kind of all over the place, I suppose, but that's me in general in craft. I kind of enjoy exploring different avenues, different styles, different types, but I know it can be quite easy to stick in a lane and enjoy something and kind of have that safety blanket that we go back to time after time. So are you kind of safety in kind of what you know and what you enjoy playing with, or do you like to go off and explore different techniques for different mediums? So once again, what's your favourite? Pens, pencils, inks? Where's it going to be? Paints? Tell us in the comments. Not necessarily a brand, but just as a go-to product that you like to play with.
Quick question from Kim.
Hello, Kim.
I don't know if you can see her comment.
I'm trying to colour in my Poppy. Where is it? Everyone making a splodgy background with inks and ink pads and then stamping
that's
on
an
top.
old comment. Kim asked, what pencils are you using, please,
Oh, I
Jamie?
don't know, Kim. I don't know. I just don't know. I just can't tell you, Kim. It's a pencil. That's all I'm allowed to tell you at this stage.
It's a bit of an empty shelf behind you there, James.
Peter, shush. He is nothing but naughty. I told you, that's got to be 3 bad stars this evening. That's got to be, isn't it? That's got to be
nothing.
3 marks.
Shani asked, where is the postage die still in stock?
It's not here at HQ, but it will be with our stockists. So you will have to do a little bit of digging. I'm going to get Pete to go and get one so he can give us a number, because it will, of course, be a benefit to you if you know the number in which you are looking for.
Kim's laughing.
We are on a bit of a tease tonight, aren't we, actually? Because there's a few little elements sneaking in on tonight's demos that we really shouldn't yet be talking about. We really shouldn't yet be telling you about. But you're just going to have to be patient. Bits and pieces are arriving in the building. As many as you know, we went off to Frankfurt just a few weeks ago and had lots of very exciting meetings. And a few bits have already arrived that we kind of talk about. Our Scrap Boys products, of course, arrived and have landed. But a few other bits and pieces, a couple of different brands are very much en route. And that's as much as I'm going to confess, even with Pete out of the room. So we're just going to go in for a few different shades. But if you are looking for pencils, you might just want to hold your breath. You might just want to wait just a moment. There's a lot of fun things go on here in a day. There is actually. It's a lovely place. We're very, very lucky. We work in a very exciting environment. And yeah, we have a great team around us. And we get to play and create and explore. And yeah, we're very, very lucky. But it does mean sometimes we are tempting you a little bit. We are teasing you slightly, not intentionally. But just as one thing kind of arrives and lands, we have to kind of pick our moments for when things are actually in the building. And sometimes we have bits we can play with beforehand, before we're allowed to kind of say, oh, look at this and look at that. So maybe today you might see a few of those items appear. Okay, a little bit of colour going through that. You don't probably want to watch me do loads of this, but I am, as always, getting a bit more carried away than I should be. So little details of flowers running through. And what I love about this is, depending on the light you catch it in, depends on how much of that picture kind of shows itself. It can really be quite subdued, and then you can catch it in the right light, and hello, Poppy. There's some life there. Do you know what I mean? I like that. I like that as a technique, as a finish, as a style. Now, I'm sorry I forgot the name already, because I have a memory like a goldfish. But this is the postage frame craft die in question. The number for it is CED FR005. So if that is one that you are after, as we said, it is sold out here at HQ, but it will be out in the wilds. It will be with our stockists. It's not a brand new die. It's been out a little while. So I know lots of stockists will have it already for you. As you know, we don't sell direct here at Creative Expressions, so we'll always direct you to a stockist anyway. But I can just tell you, normally we would say to you, if you've got a favourite stockist and you go to them and they say, oh no, that isn't a product I stock, then say to them, well, could you order one for me? And they can, of course, order it in for you. And I know our stockists, they will always happily do that for you. It's never a problem for them or for us to just send out one of an item because that's what you want. And it's all about connecting you to the product via our stockist. But I can tell you with these, when I say they're out of stock here at HQ, you are going to have to find it in stock at a stockist, because if they want to order it, we will just tell them the same as we're saying this evening. It'll be a few weeks till it comes back available. You can place your orders, but it will be a little bit of a wait for that one. Okay, and then the other one we've been mentioning a lot of this evening is the Lost and Found set, again by Francoise through Woodware. This one is CED FR004. Is this one sold out here at HQ? Oh, I'm getting a nod. This isn't good, Peter. This is what happens when we send Francoise on TV with all these lovely products,
she works her magic, doesn't she?
She does work her magic. She's inspiring, that woman. Again, it will be back in a few weeks, so do not fear. But again, it will be available from our stockists. So if you do want to get hold of it, do have a little look around. Okay, so there is our stamped image, just like before. All I would do with this one is, once coloured, or before, whatever way you prefer, is I would send it through and cut it out of that same tattered layered die set, just to give that kind of style and look to it. Now, as we did the last time, we're going to go back to our background and we're going to start building up our background image. So we're going to bring in a panel, and I'm going to go rogue. I'm not going to use a stamp press for this. We're going to use a stamp block. Stamp block. And we're going to bring in, what stamp should we use for this?
Where did you get that from?
Tesco.
Other stamp block shops are available.
It didn't come from Tesco. It didn't.
It's a nice stamp block.
It's a very nice stamp block, Peter.
It's perfect for an A6.
It is perfect for an A6. I was very pleased when I found it in Tesco's next to the bird's eye peas. I was like, ooh, just what I've been looking for in
People
life.
will be hunted around Tesco's now amongst the peas.
And I was so pleased to see it's got little edges for me to hold my fingers on it as well.
Lovely design.
Just nestled between the peas and the carrots. And I was like, ooh.
You are watching a random evening.
A random evening.
Jamie Rodgers.
Supermarket sweep, acrylic block edition. I don't know what you mean random. I feel we're perfectly normal, cohesive. No, are we not? Maybe not. I don't think we change week on week. I feel that if they're here now, they knew what they were getting, other than our new viewer who may have already left or may never return. But besides that, we are pretty much the same, aren't we? Let's be honest.
What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get. Okay, so what we're going to do is carry on stamping this, and you can be a little bit more forgiving with this if you want to. You don't have to do it quite so exact, but we're just doing this for speed, really, and we're just going to bring these in. Again, a bit like the last background we did, we're not going to see a lot of this. We're just going to see little bits and bobs poking out from underneath layers. So if it isn't exact, if it isn't spot on, it really doesn't matter. And then we'll add a last one in just down here. But this is more trying to show you how we can be kind of forgiving with it. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. It doesn't matter what bits we highlight. And even, do you know what? Even if we do this a bit, this stamp block, ginger nuts, this one.
You're going to confuse everyone.
Ginger nuts. It was right beside the ginger nuts, in between ginger nuts and rich tea biscuits. And I was like, oh, second stamp block I have found. I have, honestly.
Nice stamp blocks, aren't they?
They are very nice stamp blocks, Peter. Tesco's.
Stop promoting that.
Stop it. Just stop promoting Tesco.
We'll be blocked.
We'll have people going in there going, watch Jamie, and he reckons you've got a lovely brand of stamp blocks located with the ginger nuts, but I've been there and I can't see them.
They'll be very confused.
They would be, wouldn't they? They would be very, very confused. Don't go to Tesco's. Just hold on a minute. All will come clear later. I don't even know when, Pete, but it'll come clear at some point in life, will it not?
Kim's off to Tesco tomorrow en route to see Julie and Barry.
Yeah?
She'll be asking.
Asking. Don't ask Julie and Barry either. They don't know yet. They don't know of our Tesco's stamp block purchasing. Okay, so there is our background panel that we have completed. I'm very excited though to hear that you are off to see Julie and Barry tomorrow. I really genuinely wish I was coming with you. I love Julie and Barry. We've had the pleasure of seeing them a couple of times here at HQ. Here twice they've been here, isn't it?
Once.
Once.
They're coming again in
Once.
the summer.
Are they? Oh,
They
lovely.
are,
I don't know this. Are you making secret plans without me?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We're planning another pizza night.
Oh, are we? We had a nice
Oh.
pizza night last time.
We did.
I love it when our stockists come to see us. We've been really, really lucky that who have we had here so far? We've had Glitter Bits and Crafts. We've had Paula from the Stamp Hut. We've had Mandy from Affordable Crafting. We've had Julie and Barry, obviously, as well, haven't we? We've had a few stockists pop in.
Had Jeanette from Australia.
Oh, of course, yeah. Jeanette come over from Australia. J Craft as well.
Irene.
Yeah, friend Irene was with us.
Irene was with
They were a lovely couple. We had a fun day with them, didn't we?
We did.
It's been lovely. It's one of the nicest bits, actually. Or, yeah, I can say that. I mean that. It's one of the really lovely fun bits is actually getting to see our stockists and kind of hearing what they get up to and what they're doing. And then how actually, and this is a bit soppy, but it's true, how they have their own little communities of crafters that kind of go to them and go to classes or track them down at shows or whatever it may be, just pop in and see them. And I think it's really lovely. I think we kind of forget that we're in such an online world now, aren't we? But it's lovely that these stores, these stockists, these people, they still have their doors open and they still have people going in and kind of having a chat and learning about craft and exploring craft. And I don't know, I know I sound possibly a bit old-fashioned, but I love that community aspect of craft. I do love it. And our lives are a very good example of that as well, because it does bring people together. But I love the way that you can achieve those kind of things across the board around the world with our craft community. We're very, very lucky. We're very lucky to be in a world where it is about sharing ideas and inspiring each other and getting creative and playing. Very lovely. Very lucky. Now that panel, of course, we could miss that just like we did before. We could add some stamping onto that again if we wanted to. We could colour in elements with it as well. Or, of course, just being located in the back of this card as a black and white panel works quite nicely as well. On my one, I didn't do that stamping around the edge, but I wish I had. That does kind of tone it down slightly, doesn't it? Makes it kind of a bit more sneaky what you're seeing through it. So do think about those worker stamps too. Being added into your collections. You're going to have a lot of fun with those as well. Now this is our second card we've made, so we are going to wrap things up now and we are going to pick our winner shortly. But before we pick our winner to receive the 2 cards, I want to give you one more opportunity to enter your question to answer even to our question. I knew that weren't right. Answer to our question, which is what's your colouring medium of choice? Pens, pencils, paints or inks? Let us know in the comments and Pete will pick one winner to receive the cards wherever you may be in the world, including, of course, P&P to wherever you may be. Now, while you're getting your last minute of answers in for that, and Pete, if you could please pick your winner in a couple of seconds, I'm going to share with you just a little glimpse of our die of the week. So every week on the Creative Expressions page, we have a new die of the week. This is our die of the week for this week. Every day at 9 AM, we share with you some inspiration from it. The recommended retail price of this one is $9.99. You may well find some of our stockists have it on a bit of a cheeky offer as they celebrate die of the week with us. Now, I don't want to share all of these with you, but I am going to give you a little bit of a glimpse over just a couple of the cards that have been made with it. Because of this Fairy Village collection floral branch comes in super handy to make some stunning, stunning cards. Doesn't that look really opulent and cool? I don't know who made this because I haven't actually seen them, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is Ian. It's not, it's our lovely Wendy. It's Ian who normally goes for the Oriental kind of red, blacks and golds, but that is stunning, Wendy. I also really like this one too. Now, I can't say nothing, but it's giving me vibes. Is it giving you vibes?
Which one are we?
The top one.
You're ahead of me, aren't you?
I am, just cheekily. Vibes. I'm moving on. This one's lovely.
It might be.
This one's done by Sharon. And Sharon's left little areas here for you to add photos onto and created this really cool tree. Loved that. Then what have we got? Oh, this one's from Sharon as well. Nice and colourful and bright branches. And then I am showing you more than I meant to. Another one from Wendy where she's made kind of cherry blossom-esque bits. Another one from Wendy where she's gone off in oranges. Very beautiful. And then another one from Sharon where she's added a little fairy on underneath it. So if that is a die that you would like to get hold of to be able to make all of those beautiful branches and different themes, different occasions, different styles, then that of course is the Fairy Village Collection Floral Branch CEDJR111. Recommended retail price $9.99, but do have a little look around because I happen to know that some of your stockists will have that on a cheeky die of the week offer as we celebrate this die this week only. 9 AM every morning you'll see those cards posted, and again it's a great place for you to be able to save those cards and have that inspiration for when you wish to come back and get creative. So last bits I need to tell you about. What can I tell you about? Oh, tomorrow, demo day, Craft Bliss, 10 till 4. Craft Bliss located in Poole in Dorset. Gwen will be in the house bringing you lots of inspiration with the Floral Stationery collection, and she will be sharing some more inspiration with the Jamie Rodgerscrafts Diamonds collection. So tomorrow, if you're in the area, do pop in and see Gwen. I know she'd love to see you. So would Julie and Barry. They had a demo day last year. It was incredibly popular. They had a lot of fun. And if you didn't manage to make it to that one, you certainly should pop along to this one. But whether you went last year or you didn't, pop along if you can. I think you can have a lot of fun with them. There is also a cheeky special offer, I believe.
There is indeed.
I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm going to let you go and find out more about it. But there is a product that I think you might like a lot that is on a very cheeky exclusive offer for Craft Bliss tomorrow. I know Gwen will be making good use of them.
Them.
Was that cryptic enough? We'll see.
A little bit.
Go along and say hello to them. I know they'd love to see you. On Sunday at midday is our DT chat. Once again here on the Creative Expressions main page. And I have a feeling, I think I've picked up a thread here from our dear Tracy that it might be the last one, you know, Pete. I think it's going to go on a bit of a holiday and something new might be replacing it. I might be wrong. You know me, memory like a sieve. But I think this might be the last one. So do pop along. If you've not joined us for our design team chats before, it's your spot, place, time to be able to talk to our design team members. They post posts at 12 o'clock. And then on them is a few cards and a couple of questions, but you can go back and ask them questions like what got you into crafting, what inspires you, anything along them lines, anything you'd like to know about. Maybe it's a card they've created and you'd like to know more about it. Pop your questions in and they will come back and answer them. They're not live, it's like a chat box thing. Think AOL 1990. Gives you the chance to just chat amongst yourselves in a text box and see what they kind of can answer for you. It's all done on one post on the page at midday. Then on Monday, we will be back with Monday Night Natter. It's a good one. It's a sneaky peek of Sue Wilson's latest collection. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You know me. I like my honesty. I like to be truthful. I like to tell you everything I think. This is Sue at her finest. This is Sue in her happy place. And when I made some cards of it, it made me in my happy place. I really enjoyed creating these cards. I've made 12 so far for this collection and I've absolutely loved it. I'm not meant to make any cards for it. It's not my collection, it's Sue's collection. It's not my shows, it's Gwen's shows. I'm not meant to get involved at all. And I've sat down and I was like, oh, idea. Before I knew it, I'd made 12 cards. So join me Monday and we'll demo some of them and we'll go through the DT creations and share with you some inspiration with it. Gwen will be on telly with that collection next Saturday. So she'll be on Hobby Maker next Saturday with it. So a little glimpse there on timelines for you. So join me Monday for the Monday Night Natter sneaky peek. Join Gwen on Saturday for the actual shows on Hobby Maker. So quick rundown. Saturday is in tomorrow. Demo day at Craft Bliss. Sunday, DT chat on the main page. Monday Night Natter. Next Saturday, Hobby Maker for Gwen's show. That kind of gives you a bit of an overview of what the main focus is of next week. But keep an eye out on Sunday when we share with you the weekly schedule post, because it may not, but may have some extra bits on it that I haven't told you about. What do I know? We'll see what's confirmed by Sunday. Anything else that I can tell them about and tease them with this evening?
I feel you've told them enough.
Says he. Oh, what pencils are they, Jamie? Oh, what blocks are they, Jamie? And then he says, I've said too much. That's what happens round here. Yep. Come on then, independent adjudicator. Let's have some answers of who's won this evening so we can leave this lot in peace. They don't want us waffling on all night.
I feel they've had enough tonight, haven't they? Thank you all for bearing with us and, you know. Anyway, yes, favourite mediums, bits and that to play with. Thank you for all your comments. Lots of different bits and bobs I like to play with, different pens and all sorts.
What was the winner?
I don't know, really. There's quite a good old mix.
What do you mean? I don't know.
Really, just a good mix, really.
I don't know. One job over there. One job.
Anyway, should we go to the winner? Thank you for all your comments anyway. Tonight I can reveal the winner is... It's keeping you hanging on. Someone who chose alcohol pens.
Oh.
But now they use more inks and brushes, thanks to you. And the winner is Andrew King. Congratulations, Andrew. If you'd like to drop us an email at jamierodgerscrafts@mail.com, let us know if you want Jamie to sign them for you, and we'll get them popped in the post.
That was a
Didn't call
painful
him.
extraction, that wasn't
Was it? I was like, what do I call him? What do I call him? What do I do? Anyway, but yeah, congratulations, Andrew. Drop us an email.
I feel
and
like
we'll,
if you knew his
pop
shoe
in the
size,
post.
we would have got that first.
Which button can I press?
No, not just because I'm picking on you. No.
Stop. Oh.
It's not very fair, is it? Okay, congratulations, Andrew. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you for your comments and being part of the fun evening that is, of course, one of our lives here. One last thing to remind you of, because if I don't, Tracy's going to tell me off, is our competition over on the Creative Expressions official group. You only have 4 days left to go to enter. It is creating a card, any style of card or project, but somewhere within it, you do have to use some Crafty Concoctions products. If you can add a description of what you've used from the Crafty Concoctions world on your creation, on your photo, and then post it using #March, it will be entered in to win a Creative Expressions goodie bag that is genuinely worth its weight in gold. There's some lovely little bits and bobs in it, and it's worth quite a hefty figure too. So all you've got to do, create a creation, making sure that somewhere in it is a little bit of Crafty Concoctions, pop it up with a description, #March, and that's all you have to do to enter. As always, check out the event section of the group or the main page to find out more. There is an event made for each competition, so you can have a little read of them. Of course, it ends at the end of the month, and then next month I'll be on to another one, bringing you a brand new mission to sink your teeth into. Now, this month, I do happen to know, sadly, not many of you have entered. So it's good in one sense because it means that the ratio of winning is much higher than it could be, but bad in the other sense if you haven't shared with us as much inspiration as we would like to see. So if you have got some Crafty Concoctions goodness that you have been playing with and creating with, or maybe enough time to fit in the next few days making something with it, your rate and chances of winning are quite high because there's not many entries to compete with. It will, of course, as always, be chosen at random. This is not a talent competition or creative competition in that sense. I know what it's like. We all think what we create isn't good enough. You don't have to worry about that. I'm sure it is, but we never value what we create, do we? But it isn't a talent competition. We're not going to compare which one's done the best with this and the best with that and that. It's all done by a random generator. We pop in all of the names into one of them spinny things online, and then it picks one out random. So all you've got to do is be in it to win it. So just a little bit of Crafty Concoction somewhere on that creation, and your description, your #March, and you're in to win. And it might just be that you've used a little bit of glitter, or a little bit of ink, or a little bit of a texture paste. Whatever it may be, let us know, and it will get you entered in to win. Okay, we're going to leave you in peace for this evening. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for celebrating our Stockists launch. Oh, I haven't read out my list again, have I? I'll do that one more time just in case you are looking for them bits. I know I've waffled, but it might help you if you are on search for something. The list of places you can get the products from we've been looking at this evening are The Art of Craft, The Stamp Hut, Out of Town Crafts, Dragon's Paper Crafts, Julia Watts Crafts, Cheshire Crafts, Gilly's Crafts, Into Craft, Craft Mania, Craft Bliss, and Hobby Maker. Okay. If you need any help, let us know in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them for you. Thank you very much for watching this evening. I'll see you again on Monday for Monday Night Natter. Sneaky peek, Sue Wilson. Don't miss that. That's a really lovely collection. You're going to enjoy that, I think. Good night from me.
And good night from me.
See you all next week. Bye.
Bye.